we say good morning to you. Welcome. We are live at Freddy's in North Johnson City again on this Monday, ready to go to the Tom Dover Sports Show. Show number 595. 595 with the old show countdown. And we thank you. Of course, countdown to Christmas. We're down to 97 days to Christmas 2017. You can see right here on the old hat, we are very proud to tell you that the Raiders are 2-0 coming out of the gate. Getting ready to head off to Washington coming up again on Sunday night, take on the Redskins. So we're live here again at Freddy's in North Johnson City, and we're here again broadcasting live. Doug Fritz's going to join us from the Johnson City Press coming up in a few minutes. Mike Hedrick, the NASCAR fans reporter. Martin Truex Jr. out of the gate with a big win to kick off the chase for the championship yesterday. Take a look at that. Also, David Strickland's going to stop by. Coach Strickland, the Science Hill soccer coach, and also the coach of the Tri-Cities Otter soccer team, is going to be by here in a little while as well, as we're here live again at Freddy's in North Johnson City. Go ahead and get you one, young man. They are free. Can't beat that. And again, we are brought to you by Grip Energy Drink. Brought some samples for folks to take, and they are taking them. So, like that. So, we're here again at Freddy's. We've got baseball. We've got the NFL. We've got college football. Oh, gosh, what else we have? Local high school football. Got all that lined up ready to go for you here on this Monday, September the 18th. And again, we work our way through a day that, of course, tells you again 97 shopping days to Christmas. Here's our schedule, by the way, for the week. We will be here today, obviously, in Freddy's, where we are now. Tomorrow we'll be at Max Meadows Martin Kingsport. Wednesday we'll be at Chick-fil-A. Thursday, Champion Chevrolet. Friday we're going to be at Town Acres Elementary School, broadcasting live, getting ready for the big school carnival. Of course, we're going to our regular show, but we're going to be there, kind of donating our time to help the cause of the carnival coming up this coming Friday. Looks like the weather's going to be perfect for it. So all that coming up again here this week. And, of course, a week from today we'll be in the hills of West Virginia, broadcasting live at Hardee's on McCorkle Avenue in South Charleston, West Virginia. Very excited about that. So we'll talk more about that as the week unfolds. We always start our show dedicating it to the man who hung on the cross. And, again, this is book, I should say this verse coming out of the book of Psalms 139, 13 and 14. It says, I created your innermost being. I knit you together in your mother's womb. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. Don't ever forget that. I created your innermost being. I knit you together in your mother's womb. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. Don't ever forget that. And so that's what's going on again with our verse today out of the book of Psalms 139, 13, and 14. Quick break. We'll be coming right back. We'll jump in and take a look at the NFL, the National Football League, as we're live here at Freddy's in North Johnson City. Of course, they are open and ready for business, and in fact, we have folks that are eating already, enjoying an early lunch, if you will, on this Monday, September the 18th. Freddy's Original Double, can't go wrong. 2 steak burger patties with mustard, pickles, and onions. Randall's going to come out here in a few minutes, the store manager, and tell us about something that's coming up starting this week, just in time. It's a dessert, just in time for fall. It involves pumpkins. I love me some pumpkins. And so, Freddy's Original Double, single steak burger, triple steak burger, the double steak burger California style, which is 2 steak burger patties with Freddy sauce, cheese, sliced onions, lettuce, and maters. Those are some of the options. If you are so inclined, you want a veggie burger, they make those as well. A grilled chicken breast, the original double patty melt, and one of the things I like is the grilled cheese. They make a mean grilled cheese here. And so every now and then I'll come in and give me a little grilled cheese sandwich, and it's good all here at Freddy's, here in North Johnson City, right in front of Food City here on State of Franklin Road here in North Johnson City. Quick break, as promised. Come back and take a look at the NFL. Take a look at these boys right here. The Raiders out of the gate at 2-0. We'll take a break and talk about them next year on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreen originated in Australia, where sunscreen standards are the strictest in the world. Although our products are now manufactured here in the U.S., we continue to adhere to the most stringent Australian standards to offer the best in broad-spectrum sun protection. Blue Lizard, the brand most recommended by pediatricians and dermatologists. Our smart bottle turns blue in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. You bring the sun, Blue Lizard brings the magic.
It's Chevy Truck Month, Take 2 at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. The savings and selection of over 600 new Chevys to choose from are at an all-time high. 1500 All-Star Crew, $11,000 off. 1715 All-Star Double Cab, $10,000 off. 18 Equinox LT, $5,000 off. 17 Traction Traverse, $5,000 off. Shop us online 24/7 and remember our Saturday parts and service hours. Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, where we leave you asking, how do they do that?
At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they treat thousands of patients each year dealing with diabetes and its effects. Diabetes overtaking our nation and leaving a path of destruction behind. Through wound care, office visits, and preventive care, they see most of the patients after a problem arises. Using diabetic footwear such as shoes and inserts, a great way to prevent or prolong skin breakdown and amputation. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they use only custom molds from patient mold inserts, which further ensure a great recovery, or better yet, prevents a wound from happening. They use custom molded shoes, bracing, custom inserts, and extra depth diabetic shoes to prevent wounds or other skin issues from beginning. Call today, 1-800-524-4447. 39 years, 6 locations, 1 family. Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, 1-800-524-4447.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game. Birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A at the crossings in North Johnson City.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
Back at the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us live at Freddy's in North Johnson City. Let's take a look at the National Football League starting right with this team, the Raiders. See the ball cap? Marshawn Lynch, 45 yards, 12 carries, 2-yard touchdown as the Raiders going to win and win decisively over the New York Jets. Final score was 45-20. Again, Derek Carr, 3 touchdown passes to Michael Crabtree and Cordell Patterson, and Jalen Richardson each added long touchdown runs to help give the Raiders the wins in the opening 2 games of the season for the first time since they went into the AFC Championship game back in 2002. Oh, yes. Josh McCown threw a pair of touchdown passes to Jermaine Kearse for the Jets. 0-2 proved to be no match to the more powerful and talented Raiders. The Raiders' vaunted offensive line won the matchup against New York's front 4, allowing no sacks and helping clear holes for a 180-yard rushing performance. Raiders will take it Sunday night into the nation's capital to battle the Redskins in Washington, D.C. So my boys are out of the gate. They're 2-0. The Raiders. Again, 2-0 heading to week 3 in Washington on Sunday night. Ben Roethlisberger took a knee in prayer, then sprinted to midfield holding the flag, honoring the man who helped guide the Steelers from irrelevance into a dynasty. 5 months after a longtime president and chairman Dan Rooney has passed away, the Steelers won a game like so many during his tenure. 26-9 victory over the short-handed Minnesota Vikings during an emotionally draining home opener on Sunday was an awful lot like the late Dan Rooney himself. Workmanlike, pragmatic, decidedly unflashy, and relentlessly effective. 26-9 the final of course, the Vikings without Sam Bradford wasn't much of a battle. Steelers out of the gate now at 2-0 as they beat Minnesota 26-9. Last night, Cowboys did not get it done. Finger pointing in the Cowboy camp already. That's not good. As another week and another record-setting performance by Elizabethton's Jason Witten. Witten played in his 225th game for the Dallas Cowboys, becoming the franchise's leader in games played. He also became the first Cowboy and just the second tight end ever to reach 12,000 career receiving yards. He also hauled in his 65th career touchdown pass Sunday, tying him with Michael Irvin for third most in the history of the Dallas Cowboys. Again, the Cowboys lose last night, but that's all said and done. It all sounded good, but Denver got him pretty good. 42-17 last night. Jason Garrett, who promptly blamed Dak Prescott for the passing game issues in Denver. Garrett again put the blame squarely on Dak Prescott's inability to make plays in the passing game. Prescott did not disagree. He said he played poorly. If I make more plays, we give ourselves a chance in that game, says the second-year quarterback. No excuse for it. Playing like that, you won't win games. It doesn't matter who you play. And so then, the NFL Network postgame, Hall of Famers Deion Sanders and LaDainian Tomlinson called out Ezekiel Elliott, saying, quote, he quit on his team. Tomlinson says, quote, I didn't like the way he quit today. Didn't like that he absolutely quit on his team today. And there's got to be times you're not going to have room to run. On a couple of plays, his attitude on a couple of plays. First, his attitude on the sidelines. Clearly didn't have any communication with his team. He didn't want to talk to his teammates. Sometimes when things are going wrong, as a leader of that team, as a captain, you've got to rally the troops. So, Ezekiel Elliott, I think it's proven, this is my humble opinion. By the way, he had 9 rushes and 8 carries. 9 total yards rushing and 8 carries. I think Elliott's all about Elliott, and I think it's beginning to show that. I don't think that's a news flash. But anyway, they get beat last night, 42-17. Cowboys 1-1 with the season. Broncos out of the gate at 2-0 in the young season. Chargers losing their first game in Los Angeles in a less than capacity crowd. They couldn't even fill up a 30,000-seat soccer stadium where they're playing this year to get their stadium built. Young-Ho Koo, the kicker, missed a 44-yard field goal with less than 10 seconds to go. As a result, Jay Cutler and the Dolphins escape with a 19-17 win. The Chargers lose their second straight game on a failed last-second field goal. Adding insult to injury, the stadium's reaction after the missed kick, it was clearly more Dolphin fans in L.A. than Charger fans. And so when he missed that kick, place went nuts. And then on top of that, the Charger guy, inadvertently, whoever it was, they shoot off a cannon when they make a field goal or a touchdown. They accidentally shot off the cannon when they missed the field goal. Place went nuts. So not a good day for the Chargers in Los Angeles. Last night, Aaron Rodgers, 33 out of 50 passes, 343 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a 34-23 loss to Atlanta. His second touchdown pass of the night, a 1-yard strike on a shovel pass to running back Ty Montgomery. Rodgers tallied his 300th touchdown pass of his career, joining a very exclusive club including Dan Marino, Tom Brady, and Fran Tarkenton. So there you go. So Aaron Rodgers, big game, but not enough as they lose. Obviously, as we said last night in Atlanta, yesterday in Atlanta, actually last night, 34-23. Hey, we're live at Freddy's in North Johnson City. We're going to be joined by the manager coming up here in just a minute, our buddy Randall Jenkins. Tom Brady, 3 touchdown passes in the first quarter for the first time in his career, eclipsing 300 yards passing in the first half for only the second time in his career. New England scored 30 first half points and blew out the winless Saints in New Orleans 36-20. How about that? 3 touchdown passes in the first quarter for the first time in his career for Tom Brady. Did not know that. And they win big, as we said, 36-20. They're 1-1 on the season. Chiefs in Kansas City beat the Eagles 27-20. Rookie Kareem Hunt reached the end zone twice. And Alex Smith, 251 yards passing for the Chiefs to go 2-0. The Eagles now, Philadelphia goes back into Philly, get ready for game number 3 of the season at 1-1. Cardinals, Carson Palmer's late rally got the Cardinals into overtime, and so they win it on a Phil Dawson 30-yard field goal, 16-13. It was the Cardinals in Indianapolis over the Colts. Arizona 1-1, never led into the final play of the ball game. Colts go back or stay in Indianapolis. They're now 0-2. Buccaneers, Jameis Winston, 18 out of 30 passing, 240 yards and 1 touchdown. Top of the Bucs returned from an unscheduled bye week forced by Hurricane Irma, defeating the Bears in Tampa Bay 29-7. The Bears are god-awful. Holy smokes. They've scored 24 points in 2 games. The only team who scored, well, the Giants have scored. They just had 1 game. They got their Monday Night Football game tonight. The Bengals have scored 9 points in 2 games. Cleveland, 28 points in 2 games. Colts, 22 points. I don't guess they're that bad. Not as bad as other teams. 20 points by Houston. Again, the Bears with 7 points losing yesterday, 29-7. Baltimore relentlessly harassed 2 Cleveland quarterbacks. Joe Flacco ramped up his production with a pair of touchdown passes, and the Ravens breezed 24-10 over the Browns in Baltimore. Elsewhere, it was the Redskins. Kirk Cousins threw an 11-yard touchdown pass to Ryan Grant with 1:49 to play. Give Washington a victory against the Rams in Los Angeles. Also a less than capacity crowd there. 27-20 the final. Russell Wilson avoided 2 potential sacks and found Paul Richardson in the end zone for a 9-yard touchdown as Seattle held off the 49ers in a sleeper 12-9. It was an offensive nightmare as both teams had combined for 14 total quarters without a touchdown this season before the Seahawks finally broke the seal on the goal line. So it was a ho-hummer to say the least. The Seahawks went at 12-9. Also from yesterday, the Titans bounced back from the loss to the Raiders. Derrick Henry, Delaney Walker, and Joston Fowler each running for touchdowns. Tennessee dominating the Jacksonville Jags. 37-16 victory there. And so that happened in Jacksonville. So the Jags, I'm assuming, are 0-2. No, they're 1-1. Titans are 1-1. And then Carolina's defense allowing only 3 points for the second straight week and 3 field goals. Panthers held on to defeat the Buffalo Bills in a sleeper 9-3 on Sunday. Panthers go to 2-0, and the Bills at 1-1 on the season. Tonight on Monday Night Football, the Detroit Lions will be in New York to battle the Giants. And then for Thursday, coming up this week, short week for the Rams and from San Francisco. They both play on Thursday night in San Francisco. And that is a wrap of the National Football League here on this Monday, live at Freddy's in North Johnson City. So heading into week number 3, here's your undefeated teams in the AFC. It's Baltimore and Pittsburgh in the AFC North. In the West, Denver, the Chiefs, and the Raiders. All 3 undefeated at 2-0. In the NFC, your undefeated teams right now, Atlanta and Carolina in the NFC South, both 2-0. Detroit 1-0, they play tonight. Your winless teams right now, AFC in the East, the Jets, Indianapolis in the South, the Browns and the Bengals in the North, and in the West, the Chargers are all 0-2. In the NFC right now, your winless teams, the Saints 0-2, the Bears 0-2, the 49ers 0-2, and the Giants going to the big game tonight at 0-1. And that is a look again at the National Football League. We're live here at Freddy's on this Monday. Quick break. We'll be right back. We'll jump in and take a look at Major League Baseball. We'll see how things went yesterday in the Bigs as we're winding down the regular season ending on October the 1st. So things winding down, and we'll talk about Major League Baseball next year live from Freddy's in North Johnson City, and also talk to the manager, Randall Jenkins, here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import and Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreen originated in Australia, where sunscreen standards are the strictest in the world. Although our products are now manufactured here in the U.S., we continue to adhere to the most stringent Australian standards to offer the best in broad-spectrum sun protection. Blue Lizard, the brand most recommended by pediatricians and dermatologists. Our smart bottle turns blue in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. You bring the sun, Blue Lizard brings the magic.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400, your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitats, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
We're back with the Don Biller Sports Show. Nope, I'm not Randall Jenkins. We're about to get him on the show because he's sitting here ready to go, the store manager, and hit that camera, and boom, there he is. There's our buddy. Morning, sir. How you doing?
All right. How are you doing this afternoon?
Yeah, it's been that way already.
Already
out of
ahead of the game.
There you go. Love coming over to Freddy's, hanging out. I'm here all the time, eating with the little people, and in fact, we were here last night, and we'll talk about that in a minute because she came in and got as a result of a reading initiative you have done with the schools with Freddy's. We're going to talk about that coming up in a moment, but for folks who've never been here, kind of give us an overview of what Freddy's is all about.
Well, we serve fantastic steak burgers, custard. I'm pretty sure we're about the only people in the area that serve frozen custard, and you just can't beat it. It's a hamburger that I've never had before I got here. It's absolutely great. We've got a promotional item coming up, a pepper jack cheese steak burger, and it's going to be a little hot. It's got jalapenos on it, spicy fry sauce that we have here in house. We got a regular fry sauce too for those that don't like the spicy one, and it's going to be served on a potato bun. We also have the pumpkin pie concrete that starts soon. Oh my goodness, it's so good. We put a full slice of pumpkin pie, blend it in with our frozen vanilla custard, and it's to die for.
When does that start?
It starts 2 days from now, Thursday.
Coming up on Thursday.
Yeah.
It's
3 days from now.
3 days from now.
Yeah.
Coming up on this coming Thursday. It's for a limited time. Obviously tying into the fall because fall's here. First day of fall officially comes in here on Friday, by the way. Is it Friday or Saturday? I guess it's Saturday, the 23rd. It'll be the first day of fall officially, but feels like summer out there right now. So let's go back to the custard. It's different. I don't know how to explain it except I'm old school, and it's the custard that I remember when I was a little boy growing up. And I don't know what you do, how you do it. I don't guess it matters, but it's old school custard. It's
richer, denser, and less moisture in it. It's just absolutely great. My wife, for example, we bought a quart of ice cream every week, every time we go to the grocery store. And once I started working here, she does not allow me to buy ice cream anymore. She makes me bring her a quart home every week. So it's a sin to say ice cream around the house. We get custard now.
We get Freddy's custard.
Yeah, Freddy's custard.
Yeah.
So
saw up on the sign you're helping the victims of Hurricane Harvey.
Yep.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, we're doing donations. It's up to them. They can donate anything from $1 to $20. Actually, you can donate 20 cents. So every time you come through, you can just say, hey, I want to donate, and we put it on there. And it is a Freddy's company-wide deal. All the Freddy's is doing it. So we came together just a couple weeks after the hurricane touchdown, and as a company, we thought it would be great to help out our brothers and sisters that got hit. So,
you know, it's interesting because the media has moved on to different things, but I know just the folks back up in West Virginia, they got hit with the flooding a year ago in June. They're still trying to dig out, still trying to put it back together. So even though it's not on the front page or on the top of the news now, there's folks down there still hurting. There's water still everywhere. There's trash. You're reading about all the different problems now associated with Harvey and Irma.
Yeah, and God bless Texas.
Maria is coming. Looks like Maria's gaining strength as a hurricane heading towards the Puerto Rico and Cuba. So there's another one out there brewing. So, but anyway, Hurricane Harvey, you can come in here and make a donation.
Yeah, absolutely. And all we do is just hit the button, and it just goes on your tab whenever you get your burger and your custard.
We're talking to Randall Jenkins. Here's what I like about Freddy's. Of course, the food's great, but they're always giving back to the community. Always. I mean, I'm going to talk about the reading incentive here in just a second, but also here's something else that I want to let him talk about. This is called the Give Back Fundraiser, and this is a chance for organizations to come in here for not a whole lot of effort, make some pretty good money. Tell me about it.
Oh, absolutely. So all an organization needs to do is just come in here. We'll pick out a date. We do them Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And from 4 o'clock in the afternoon till 9 o'clock, all they have to do is pass out their flyers and advertise it on their end. And they bring the group brings in the flyer or a piece of paper saying or let us know, and we hit the button, and it's 15% of the sales. We have many organizations. We fill up 2 months in advance pretty much. So if you want to do one and you got something coming, got to get in and get it in on the books. But 15% from 4 to 9, and I've seen some groups walk away with some money, and I really love just helping out. I mean, anything from mission trips to Little League baseball teams, football teams. I mean, you name it, we've done it all. And it's just great to see the youngins coming out here and having a good time, and that's what it's all about. You know, it's just helping out the community. So.
Exactly right. That's what it's all about. We're talking to Randall Jenkins, the store manager here at Freddy's. Then the other thing that I've started doing, you guys have been doing it for a long time, is this reading incentive program where the kids actually come in there after they read so many books. Mm-hmm. You get a free mini Sunday. Tell me about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got the little cards. I don't have one on me to show, but we give them out at schools and whatnot, and to the kids that come in here. And a parent or a teacher or a librarian signs off on it every time they read a book. And after they read 5 books, they just bring in the card signed, and they get a free mini Sunday. So they can get as many as they want as long as they're reading those books. So.
And all you're doing is helping helping out the kids.
Yeah. So
I mean, give them an incentive.
I'll give custard away all day if it means the kid's going to read a little bit more.
There you go.
So.
I like this guy. He's a good man. Last but not least, you guys cater. Of course, you have the restaurant here in North Johnson City in the state of Franklin, in front of Food City, but you also cater. Tell me about that.
Oh, absolutely. Well, with all the stores in the Tri-Cities, we got the Bristol one right across the state line there in Virginia, Exit 5. We got Kingsport, and we got us here in Johnson City, and we got Morristown that just opened up a few weeks ago. So every one of the stores caters, so we're never too far away from whatever you've got. We just need a couple of days in advance, and let us know. We can come by and do a custard bar, which we'll come by and set up vanilla and chocolate and toppings, and it'd be just like having the custard bar here in the restaurant, whatever gathering you have. We can do burgers, we can do the chicken sandwiches, you name it, we can do it. If we've got it, we'll come out and take care of it. We've done several events with the Otters. I think you've got the Otters coach coming in.
Yep.
So over the summer when the Otters was playing, we went out and we served custard there at the games. Every home game we was there serving custard. So came in handy on those hot evenings. So
something else you did too, when the students moved back in at East Tennessee State, you went over there and helped them out.
Absolutely.
Too, right?
We went over there actually for 2 different events, for move-in day and for another event, we came out and we just gave 2-ounce cups of custard out to all the college students coming back and whoever else was walking through, faculty, and introduced ourselves and let them know that we was here for them. So
good stuff. What's the hours you're open here?
We're open from 10:30 in the morning till 10 at night. Sunday through Thursday, and Friday and Saturday we're open up till 11.
7 days a week?
7 days a week, all day long.
Love me some more. It's hot out there too. Love me some custard.
Yeah.
Bet you Doug Fritz will get him some custard here in a minute. He's going to join us. He's going to come join us next. He'll come back here in a little while and talk.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll come on back.
Awesome. Love this guy. Give him some taste.
Thank you, sir. It's good having you.
Jenkins, yeah. Love coming over to Freddy's. I'm here all the time eating as a consumer. I got the little people in there all the time. Let's go get some. They love the shoestring potato fries.
Oh, gosh. Them little fries.
Freddy sauce.
Them little fries. I get all kinds of compliments on them fries every day. There's probably not a day that goes by I don't get a compliment on them fries.
We're 97 days away from Christmas, and I'm not lying to you. They don't know this yet. Of course, they're in school. They can't hear this. But for stocking stuffers, I'm going to buy them. I'm going to get them each a bottle of that fry sauce.
Absolutely.
Stocking. They could drink that stuff.
Yeah, fry sauce.
I bet they could put it on cereal. I swear. They love the fry sauce here at Freddy's. Hey, before we go to the break, Doug Fritz going to join us again. Randall's come back here in a little while. Check this out. Here's a chance for you to win tickets to Charlotte Motor Speedway. The chase is on. Martin Truex Jr. won the race yesterday. We're going to talk to Mike Hedrick coming up top of the hour, our NASCAR fan reporter in Northern Virginia, about the chase. But again, here's your way to win tickets. Go to TomDouglasSports.com/contest. Drive for the Cure 300 and the Bank of America 500 coming up in October. The Chase for the Championship. We're giving away tickets to both races. Multiple winners. We'll give those away on October the 2nd, 2 weeks from today. We will crown a couple of champions, several champions, and win tickets to the races in Charlotte. Then, one other thing I want to tell you about, the picking panel. Boom. How about that? Go there right now, TomDouglasSports.com/football. You can win $25. This week, Tony Briggs of Watauga, Tennessee was our winner. He wins $25. He had the best picking panel going, and so he had the most correct picks. And so Tony Briggs is your winner of that, and also the Charlotte tickets. One more time, TomDouglasSports.com/contest. Quick break. We'll be right back. We're live at Freddy's. Up next, we'll check in with our buddy, our dear friend Doug Fritz from the Johnson City Press. What went wrong in the swamp? What went right in Greenville, North Carolina for the Hokies? And we'll talk about some college football. Talk about whatever he wants to talk about, because he's the daddy rabbit. Certainly some high school football next year, live at Freddy's, North Johnson City. Show number 595. They said it wouldn't last here on the Tom Douglas Sports Show.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at FCA.org.
It's Chevy Truck Month, Take 2 at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. The savings and selection of over 600 new Chevys to choose from are at an all-time high. 1500 All-Star Crew, $11,000 off. 1515 All-Star Double Cab, $10,000 off. 18 Equinox LT, $5,000 off. 17 Traction Traverse, $5,000 off. Shop us online 24/7 and remember our Saturday parts and service hours. Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, where we leave you asking, how do they do that?
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import and Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Back with the top
sit up straight.
Doug Fritz of the Johnson City Press. We're here live at Freddy's in North Johnson City today. Love coming to Freddy's, and folks are lining up getting them some lunch. And that original double looks real good up there. It's my fave. You know, it's something they sell a lot of, and I like it. It's grilled cheese. You a grilled cheese kind of guy?
I like grilled cheese. I just don't get it very often because I'm always wanting some, I want some meat mixed in there, some bacon or ham or hamburger or something.
Some meat on the bone. This is the place to come. Of course, when you can make a donation to help out the folks of Hurricane Harvey. Again, the motto is the taste that brings you back. This is show number 595. Doug joins us from the Johnson City Press, and so here's the obvious. What went wrong in the swamp? The Gators and the Volunteers. What went wrong for Tennessee to lose that ball game? Boy, that's all I've heard this weekend. Holy smokes. We got people, Butch. They're down on Butch. Whether it's justified or not, we'll talk about that in a moment. But again, game was kind of lackluster in the first half, but man, in the second half, a lot of fireworks. What went wrong for the Tennessee Vols, or if they're a Gator fan, what went right for the Gators?
Well, where do you want to start there? Start with
Tennessee. What went wrong with the Volunteers?
Okay, so again, Tennessee, watching that first half, they didn't look like a very good football team. And then you watch them in the second half, and like you said, they look explosive. So what's going on there? It comes back to that same old bugaboo that just seems to haunt them is not getting off to a good start and then trying to make up for it later. And you watch John Kelly, and it's like all of a sudden they realized what type of player he was, and they said, okay, we need to get the ball in John Kelly's hands all the time, every time. And you can't be a high-level college football program and figure out things on the fly. You got to know going into the game, and you got to have your team prepared to the point to where you're going to establish your strengths early. And if you do that, and you're playing an opponent that's not as good as you jump out to a big lead. If you're playing an opponent that's as good as you or challenges you, you stay with them right there. But Tennessee, they don't always do a good job of establishing their strengths. And then I just can't understand the
I've heard this a lot.
Well, I don't know the errors that they make. It's just mind-boggling. And those sideline shots of Butch Jones with those facial expressions that he has when something crazy's happened against UT, it's like, I mean, some of that's got to be a little bit of just misfortune and stuff. But if it happens so many times, it's got to be something else. It's got to be an attitude in the program that we expect something bad to happen, I guess.
You're talking to Doug Fritz, Johnson City Press. Okay, so I don't normally second guess because I'm not the coach. I'm not there all week long. But basic football, got to look at it this way. John Kelly takes you down the field. He's hammering the ball in the second half. You get down in the red zone, they pass. So this is my theory. This is playing sandlot, whether it's basketball or football. this is the way I was raised. Whatever I'm doing, if it's successful, I'm gonna keep doing it until you stop me. And they obviously didn't stop him. The guy went down the field. I did not see the game, so I'm talking about this secondhand. I've seen some of the highlights, but I've read enough in the Johnson City Press to see that Kelly toted the mail, got him done where they needed, and then he abandons that and starts throwing the football down to the red zone. And again, I'm hammering the rock. If you got me down to that far, why would you stop? But they did. And then you go back to, and I said this on the champion show last Thursday night. I told Dave on just that the difference in the football game is going to be the fact that Florida's got a heck of a kicking game, and Tennessee has at best, a marginal field goal kicker, and it proved to be true. It cost them 9 points. That's a football game. Missed 3 field goals. That's not on Butch Jones. Kelly in the end zone doing that taunting, getting a 15-yard penalty. That ain't Butch Jones. That's stupidity there on behalf of Kelly. I mean, act like you've been there. So those variables, you can't blame on the coaching staff. But now that last play, again, we go back to Sandlot. Doug Fritz he's down. This is his last play, and I know he can sling it. He's going to have to sling it. It's all he's got a chance to do to try and win the game. But what am I going to do? This is what I would do. I'd go back there. I'd go so far back, it'd be like me standing on the warning track in center field in baseball. So I'm going to go back, and the only way you're going to beat me, you may beat me, catch it down in front of me and outrun me, but you're not going to throw it over my head. You're going to be standing back in the end zone. And why they didn't play, whatever they did, I don't even know what the defensive scheme should be, but in essence, play center field so nobody get behind you. And they did and beat them, and that's just, to me, that's dumb football. But anyway, I don't think it's all on Butch Jones. You can't coach missed field goals. You can't coach a guy taunting, but you can coach down inside the red zone. Instead of passing, you pound it in. So Tennessee's got to regroup. They're taking on a team that's god-awful, UMass. Then they got Georgia coming to town in 2 weeks. Of course, Florida heads off to Kentucky this week, which is not going to be easy. So on the flip side, turn you loose on this. Here's what went wrong with the Vols. In your opinion, what went right for the Gators?
Well, let me just touch real quick on a couple of things you mentioned there. One of them is you're at the 1 yard line. If you go back in the football archives, Pete Carroll laid a blueprint for all time, for the rest of all time in football, of what you don't do at the 1 yard line.
Exactly.
Anybody can access that video footage. You can go back and look at it. Okay, so Tennessee gets first and goal at the half-yard line or wherever it was. They throw a pass. They get a false start. Okay, now you're in trouble. First and goal at the 1, I run the ball. Mano a mano, you can't stop me. If you do, second down, play action, okay? Or I can run it again, but you don't know, so I got that advantage on you. Third down, if I've gone play action on second down, I've set myself up on third down to again pass or run. I keep you guessing. But if you run that ball on first down and don't score, you silence the critics. Your team realizes you got to do something different. But if you bypass that option and try and throw on first down, I never understand that. You're saying we're not man enough to line up face to face and stick the ball in the end zone. And I'll never understand that.
So if Coach Fritz and Coach Taylor can figure this out in Freddy's on Monday in North Johnson City, why can't the Tennessee coaching staff say, guys, you got it? I mean, 1 yard is what, from me to you, basically?
Yeah.
You got them hogs up front weighing 280, 290, 300 pounds. You telling me that I'm 6'5", and I don't know how big Normandy is. He's a pretty good-sized guy. You're telling me that I can't get that football in 3 tries from me to you. Come on now.
Well, but it's the mindset. You're telling your team you are not. That Florida defensive line is so much better than you. We can't get a half yard. Now you set the tone in their mind. So what do the next time? And they jump because you set the tone in their mind. You've got them off kilter. I put that on Butch Jones, that false start. Now he can't control his players, and I realize those things happen. I was watching the Sunday night game last night, and the Atlanta Falcons were ahead and they jumped. I mean, it happens. But you've got to have a mindset of physical toughness to say, we're going to stick this in the end zone. And then you get to that last play. There's 2 parts of that thing. One is Tennessee appeared to be in the wrong defense. They had 2 deep safeties. They probably should have had 3. And then they would have covered 33% of the field instead of 50 each. And you would have had somebody in the middle, or maybe 4, then you had 2 people in the middle. That never happens. But there's another part of that with 9 seconds left. Florida was in and it's borderline, but if Florida hits about a 25-yard pass there, they might have could have kicked a 60-yard field goal. And I know that guy that they have has a lot of range, so you couldn't just defend it as if it was a Hail Mary situation. So you couldn't sit back and just gamble on everything going there and just give them the 25-yard gain, run out of bounds, stop the clock, and kick a long field goal. So it's a little bit of a tough situation there, but you needed one more person back deep. And, you know, of course, the quarterback, here's what Florida did right. They came into the game. They played such tough defense early on. They gave themselves a chance to win. And then they didn't quit, even though Tennessee was just, Florida was making mistakes and Tennessee was coming back and Florida fumbles through the end zone. Florida never got flustered. They never quit. And the only thing they did wrong there at the end was they let that clock run. And I almost think that they did that because they were afraid that if they went too fast, they were going to give Tennessee time to get back, maybe get in field goal position to win it. But that's a little bit of antsiness on their part they shouldn't have had. So what Florida did right was they kept believing, they didn't quit. And then their quarterback, I've only seen one player that I can remember throw that long of a touchdown pass in a sort of a Hail Mary situation. That was Aaron Rodgers. And here's a guy from Florida that has, you know, I mean, it was just tremendous. So that's what they did right.
I will say this. As far as the Florida team, that's probably one of the worst Florida teams. I know they got, 8 or 9 guys out because of this credit card fraud they're going through. So they're off the team temporarily until further notice, but it's still not a very good Florida team. But, you know, I heard all about it yesterday. I said, here's the bottom line. The team that won the game earned the win.
Yeah.
That's simple. Should they have won? I don't know. They did. And now they're heading off to Kentucky, and Tennessee's back home against UMass. What about the Hokies? We talked last night. They scored,
57 unanswered.
unanswered. That's East Carolina, but does Justin Fuente got himself a buzz bomb up in Blacksburg?
You know, I'll be honest about it. I'll watch them play, and there's a reason why they fell behind 17-7 against East Carolina. And there are a few flaws with this team, and though they came back and looked really good after that, they're now ranked number 13 in the country. And if there's a couple of upsets next week and this week, and Virginia Tech beats Old Dominion, they'll be 4-0. They might even creep into the top 10. And I'm telling you, Virginia Tech, in my opinion, is not a top 10 football team. So that's how rankings are kind of flawed. This is just kind of what you've done to this point. I don't think Tech can line up against Clemson and beat them. And I was looking at the polls, and there's some teams below them that I don't think Tech can beat right now. But what they have done, though, is they're kind of establishing their program under Fuente, and the more games they can win and the farther they can go this year, 8 wins is kind of what I'm thinking and looking at. But if they somehow get to 10, boy, that's really going to help recruiting and stuff, and it's going to elevate Fuente as a recruiter and a coach, and it's going to help the program. So Tech's doing what it needs to against this fairly soft early season schedule, and they need one more game to take care of, and then they'll just go from there. Game 5 is when their season really starts.
Talking to Doug Fritz, Johnson City Press, live at Freddy's in North Johnson City. Again, their motto is real simple: the taste that brings you back. And man, that's that old-fashioned custard like I was a little feller growing up in the hills of West Virginia. Love it. Of course, that's not the only thing they sell, but they've got the PB&C. That would be the, peanut butter Reese cups. I can't read it. On my glasses. What's that say? PB&C. PBC&B, I should
well,
say.
it's a stretch for me. It says Reese's peanut butter cup, banana, whipped cream, and cherry.
Oh, I can't read it, but I love it. That's what I always get. Little people get the dirt and worms right below it. What is that? It's got gummy worms.
It's got Oreo cookies, gummy worms, whipped cream, and cherry.
Here's the funny part. Right here it is.
Well, there. That's you can read that.
Right, I can read it. Well, I kind of, dirt and worms, vanilla custard, Oreo cookie pieces, and gummy worms. Then the Hawaiian Delight, vanilla custard, pineapple, strawberry, coconut, and macadamia nuts. So the custard, the taste that brings you back. Here's the top 25 college football, and we're going to talk about the Bucs here. And then we've got Doug for a few more minutes, kind of squeeze in some high school football. Here's your brand new poll out this week. Came out this morning. Alabama, Clemson up to number 2, Oklahoma number 3, Penn State number 4, Southern Cal number 5. You okay with those 3? Does Clemson, are they?
I think that's a pretty I think so. I think that's a pretty legit top 5 right now. And we'll see. I mean, Clemson's got some proving to do, but with what Dabo's done with that program, I think they've earned the right to be ranked at that spot for right now.
There's your top 5. At number 6, Oklahoma State. Washington, number 7. Michigan at number 8. Wisconsin, number 9. And Ohio State, number 10. So 3 straight Big Ten teams round out the top 10. Georgia, right there at number 11. Florida State, 12. The Hokies, as Doug said, at number 13. Miami, number 14. Auburn, 15. Auburn did not look good against Mercer. TCU at 16. Mississippi State, unranked, hits in this week at number 17. Washington State, 18. Louisville drops down 5 notches to 19. Florida up 4 to number 20 this week. Then you've got South Florida. You've got 3 new ones in. San Diego State at number 22. Utah number 23. Oregon at number 24. LSU number 25. And obviously Tennessee falls out of the polls, as does, let's see, somebody else fell out. UCLA, I believe it was, fell out of the poll. And I got it right here. Let's see. Kansas State, Stanford, Tennessee, and UCLA all fell out last week. So there's your top 5. Alabama, Clemson, Oklahoma, Penn State, and Southern Cal. Here's a couple of good games this week. Number 16, TCU at number 6, Oklahoma State. Number 17, Mississippi State at number 11, Georgia. That's going to be a good one on
It should be a good one, yeah.
Number 4, Penn State at unranked but undefeated Iowa. In Iowa, which is a tough place to play. Then we talked earlier, 20th ranked Florida goes to Kentucky for a 7:30 kickoff. Kentucky 3-0, Florida 1-1. So how do you like those games?
Yeah, I think Florida, with their defense and the confidence they built with that in-game scenario there, I think that they're going to be fine against Kentucky. Mississippi State and Georgia, I don't know what Mississippi State did Saturday. That was pretty impressive. I still think Georgia's got a little edge on them, but it wouldn't surprise me if Mississippi State beats them.
Then you've got the Bucks, had a tough loss at home against the Citadel team, had them on the ropes, 13th ranked team in the country, scored on the last 4 possessions, 1 going away, but Coach Torbush says we're not into moral victories at East Tennessee State, but after coming off that crushing defeat of James Madison to come back home and play well, and again, they were leading with 11:42 to go in the football game. That's a statement game for me, for the Bucks, and they'll have Mercer at home this Saturday, but I thought that was a great showing for East Tennessee State, even though they lost.
Well, Coach Torbush said the right thing. That's what a coach is supposed to say. We're not in this for moral victories. We're not happy with this. So that's where people like you and other people can say it for him. This was a step forward for ETSU's football team, even though they lost. He can't convey that to his players because he doesn't want them to be happy with the loss. But any fan of the program and of the university can look at that and say, hey, I like where this is going. If they can compete with Citadel, why can't they compete with other top 25 teams, not James Madison, but, other top 25 teams. I think ETSU, it's going to be a season like that. I think they're going to get somebody when this thing goes along through here, but they're not going to win all of them, and they're not going to win a lot of them, and they may only win 5 or 6 games, but they're going to be tough this year, I think, week in, week out.
Johnson City Press did something really cool. They do a lot of cool things. Love this paper because they've printed all 3 of our local schools, our regional schools, and their schedules, so it's a good reference point for me. So ETSU's got Mercer. They go to Furman. They got Robert Morris at Western Carolina, Wofford, VMI, at Sanford, at Chattanooga. It's a tough schedule to finish out the year. And so they'll take on Mercer at 3:30 this coming Saturday, right straight to the trees here at William B. Green Junior Stadium on the campus of East Tennessee State. High school football, here we go. Another big night coming up Friday night. A couple of games I want to jump out and talk about. We'll have Doug on again on Thursday night on the Champion Chevrolet 5-Star football preview show that's growing. And our pick and panel guy, our winner this week, was Tony Briggs out of Watauga. Tony helps out in the Elizabethan radio broadcast with the veteran John Holtzclaw, so he won.
He must have picked Florida.
He did. And he picked Kentucky. He beat South Carolina, which...
That's a good pick, too. The Florida-Tennessee game was a swing game. I tried to do everything I could to pick Florida in that game, and I couldn't find any compelling evidence, and I wound up being wrong, but shouldn't have been.
So pick and panel talk more about that, but Doug will be with us by phone on Thursday night, talk more about these games, but just the first blush, Cloudland and Happy Valley, Elizabeth and the Tennessee High. How do you like those games?
Well, Cloudland and Happy Valley is really interesting because both those teams are off to tremendous starts, and I was just checking. I'll have it in my column tomorrow. Those are two of the highest-scoring teams in the state. They're both averaging well over 40 points a game. And Happy Valley is one of the best defensive teams in the state, which I think tilts the scales in their favor. And, they go in this as a favor, but that should be a dandy game. And Tennessee High scored 75 points over their last two games. They beat Virginia High and they beat Morristown East. That coming off the heels of a game against Daniel Boone where they just got toasted. So that tells me Tennessee High's figured some things out. And I think if people think Elizabethton's going to go over and wear them out, Elizabethton's beaten them 4 years in a row, but I think it's going to be a tougher game for Elizabethton. Tennessee High's got a good athlete there at quarterback, and I think that's going to be a good ball game.
There you see right there, starting coming up tomorrow night. We're going to start bringing back the Sean Witten Coaches Show. We're going to record that tomorrow. Be ready to go tomorrow night. So we'll have Coach Witten on with some highlights. And so something else we're going to do too, which I don't know if I've ever done it, but they asked me to come over and do it, so I'm going to do it tomorrow night. It's T.A. Duggar and Crockett Middle School.
Oh,
we're
cool.
going to do a middle school ball game.
Cool.
So I don't think I've ever done a middle school game. It's been a while. So, but I was talking to Ryan Witten, one of the coaches, and they either lost one, they're undefeated. They're undefeated, and so they're off to a heck of a year. Crockett Middle School. I'm assuming that's a combination of Lamar and Jonesboro.
It probably is, but I want to say something about Elizabethton. And Elizabethton has good football teams year in, year out. And one of the reasons that they do that is because of the feeder system and because it is a big deal to play a middle school game, and it is a big deal to have the little kids out there on Saturday running around playing flag football, whatever they do over there at T.A. Duggar, and maybe they get them on the big field too. But it matters. You've got to grow the game if you want to be good year in, year out. You can't just wait till you get that great class of kids coming in, because if you do that, you're going to be good for 2 or 3 years and go fall off the cliff. You got to grow it to where you've got 10 or 15 good football players coming in every class, and that's how they do it there.
Science, yep,
and Science Hill does that too.
Yeah.
There's programs that do that.
We were there Friday night on the sideline, Doug and I. Just, it was homecoming. I don't know. In fact, I told Eddie Pless, the athletic director, I said it's like Norman Rockwell. It's like a slice Americana. You got the band, you got the fans, the tailgating. Not that other schools don't do it. It's just, I don't know. There's something about it over in Elizabethton. It's a big deal on Friday night. The whole town turns out. Most of them wearing orange and black, and so band.
Let me tell you a story here. When I was a kid growing up, I went to Dobbs Bennett football games. After the football games, we'd go over to my great aunt's house, Mavis Moore and Bob Moore, which is Robbie Moore's dad, and Graham Clark's married to Marisa, and so it's the whole family. And they'd had a big box of donuts from Krispy Kreme out there, but it was the fact that after a football game, everybody went and got together, because the football game was the community event. Then you had the family event after that, but it was all a Kingsport community, and it was a big deal. That's gone from a lot of places now, but that kind of thing's still alive in places like Elizabethton and maybe in Greenville and stuff like that. I mean, the community event that high school football is, and it still matters in some places.
I walked back with the team at halftime. What was really cool as they're going off the field, all these little kids are standing there, these little fellers, and of course the players give them high fives like this little line of kids, and I'm thinking, these are future football players. It's a big deal. So Science Hill Boone Friday night in Gray. That's another game. I want you to get your take on it. And here's one. It's interesting. Unicoi County at Sullivan Central. Unicoi County, Coach Rose, looks like he's kind of getting things turned around in Irwin. So
Coach Rice.
I'm sorry, not.
You went a few years back there.
Back.
You went, I took you in the time machine back to the 70s, and you didn't get all the way back.
Yeah. Drew Rice. I'm sorry. So anyway. You're right, my bad. Unicoi County at Sullivan Central and Science Hill Boone. What do you think?
Well, Science Hill Boone, I mean, Science Hill, obviously, the big thing about that is they got so much more team speed, and Boone's going to have trouble containing that. Boone's going to have to put some points on the board to even hope to have a chance. I mean, because Science Hill's going to score. I mean, that's just the way it is. So that's a challenge for them. And Unicoi County's coming off not an upset, but a good win over Claiborne. They won 21-0. Their defense played great. That was and they've done well in their league. And Central's on this long losing streak though. But I'm sure Central's looking for that 1 week link, maybe if they can break through and get a win. And it might have looked like Unicoi, may not look like Unicoi now. So that's going to be an interesting game.
There you go. Hungry?
I could eat.
Get you some lunch. I appreciate you big time. Give you some some taters.
All right.
Our buddy Doug Fritz of Johnson City Press joins us. Quick break. We'll be right back, and we go from football to soccer. Yep, talk about the Otters, talk about Science Hill Soccer. Coach Strickland is kind enough to come over and join us. We'll have him next year live at Freddy's in North Johnson City. And then, as promised, we will go to Northern Virginia, talk to Mike Hedrick by phone. With NASCAR, the chase for the championship is in the books. Number 1 is in. Martin Truex Jr. won it and got slimed in Victory Lane yesterday. It was a tail for the Turtles 400 with the Ninja Turtles. And so now they move on to New Hampshire. We'll talk NASCAR coming up here in a few minutes. We'll talk soccer next year on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they treat thousands of patients each year dealing with diabetes and its effects. Diabetes overtaking our nation and leaving a path of destruction behind. Through wound care, office visits, and preventive care, they see most of the patients after a problem arises. Using diabetic footwear such as shoes and inserts, a great way to prevent or prolong skin breakdown and amputation. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they use only custom molds from patient mold inserts, which further ensure a great recovery, or better yet, prevents a wound from happening. They use custom molded shoes, bracing, custom inserts, and extra depth diabetic shoes to prevent wounds or other skin issues from beginning. Call today, 1-800-524-4447. 39 years, 6 locations, 1 family. Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, 1-800-524-4447. If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Back live again at Freddy's in North Johnson City. Tomorrow we'll be at Max Meadows Marty Kingsport. Wednesday we'll be at Chick-fil-A. Thursday at Champion Chevrolet. Then Friday, kind of a new gig, different gig. We go there every year. The Carnival at Town Acres Elementary is going to go and broadcast the show live from Town Acres Elementary here in Johnson City. A week from today we'll be in the hills of West Virginia, taking the show with Hardee's into Charleston, West Virginia, talking Marshall football with Aaron Ferguson, who played football at Dobbins Bennett and Marshall. Also, Anthony, and I totally forgot his last name, and I apologize. He is a big West Virginia guy. Of course, we'll be talking Tennessee sports as well, but we're taking the show on the road to Hardee's next week. And if things line up, it'll be our 600th show next Monday at Hardee's in West Virginia. We're here at Freddy's. It's Coach Strickland with us again from Science Hill High School and the Tri-Cities Otters. And first off, good afternoon. Thanks for coming over. Appreciate it, my friend.
Thank you. Enjoy always being here.
Oh, yeah, I love it. So you went over the weekend. Let's talk about soccer overall. You went down and was part of a record-setting crowd in Atlanta. Tell me about it.
Yeah, it's in the new Mercedes-Benz Stadium that they played in, and it was over 70,000 people that showed up, and what a facility they put together. And the game, we were treated to 6 goals. It was a 3-3 game. It was exciting end to end. And if you get a chance, whether you go see a Falcons game or Atlanta United game, make the trip down there to see that. Arthur Blank has done a top-notch job. I mean, that stadium is absolutely beautiful, and the sight lines are fantastic in there. It was just tremendously exciting.
Not a bad seat in the house, is there?
No, there's not. There's not. Now, I didn't go in the upper deck. There was that seemed to be pretty high. Where we were sitting down in section, we were in 123, so we were down on that level. And you're so close to the field, it's fantastic. And they got retractable seats in there, so after a football game, because of the width of the field's wider in soccer, it drops back out. So, I mean, the sideline, you can almost touch the players. They're right there.
Wow. That's kind of like the way it is up at Kermit Tippin with the Otters play, right? The fans are right there on top of the
I don't know about that. There's a track in the way.
You're right. We're talking to our Coach Strickland, our buddy again, Science Hill, and of course the Otters. So, speaking, and I know this is a crazy question to ask a soccer coach, but what I'm seeing, and I'm out here on the outside looking in, soccer is really starting to grow locally, regionally, and nationally, maybe more so than some of the other sports kids get involved in, but soccer continues to really tick up. Am I right in saying that as far as participation?
Sure, it really does. And, you have to look at more and more new moms and dads played soccer growing up, and like their mom and dad played. We all picked up sports based on what our dad or our mom was interested in, and that's where we become, fans of certain teams, fans of a certain sport. We all kind of gravitate towards what we're introduced to, and it just, as the years continue to go, more and more the base just keeps getting larger. So there's a lot of participation. The thing about soccer at the youth levels, doesn't matter how tall, how short, how round, how you are, there's a space for all of them to play and enjoy the game. And to get into the sport is very inexpensive as far as, hey, you just need some shoes, some shin guards, and off you go.
Off you go. We're talking again to Coach Strickland from Science Hill. Before we get into the Science Hill, let's go back and talk about the Otters. They wrapped up the year, and so what's going on right now with the Otters? I guess this is off season.
This is off season. This is the time we're doing a lot of scouting for players for next year. We have our general manager is currently tracking players and their stats, their playing time, their production levels. Part of the key we have to figure out is we have to have a certain amount of domestics and a certain amount of internationals. So we'll end up with a list of over 200 guys that we're trying to contact, get in touch with. And in October, we'll actually start reaching out. We'll bring back about 6 or 7 guys from last year, but we'll improve the other 23 that we bring back, because we bring in 30 total. We'll improve that area, bring them back in. We had some very good growth from year 1 to year 2. Some exciting players. We still have some areas we just need to get better in. And bottom line, just get better so we can compete.
It's the name of the game. Again, we're talking to Coach Strickland. Fan support still great this year. I know it was year number 2.
Fans were fantastic. I mean, Michael and Elizabeth Balliff do a good job for the fans. They set it up for the families to be there. The kids have so much to do during that time, and it's funny because people will ask me about, how much does it cost to get in? What goes on up there? I go, I've never been up there. I've never been up top during a game because I've, got game day operations I've got going on with the team. So I've never seen it, but everybody says they have a great time.
And they do. Everybody I've talked to said they have a blast. I know Freddy's, we had Randall on here a few minutes ago. He said he was over there this year helping out. I guess he was selling custard up top. So
yes,
Freddy's got involved. So he understands the value of soccer here in Johnson City and the Tri-Cities. And so the Otters, Do you have off-season workout? Are these guys out playing somewhere else now? And when do you guys get back and get ready for the next season?
98% of our players are in college right now playing. So they're in the heart of their season, which gives us an opportunity to watch either via video or live games, to be able to scout them, to make connections with college coaches. You know, the one thing we've got a reputation for is taking care of players while they're here, because these are boys between 18 and 22. We have a few 25, 28-year-olds that are here for the summer, and, you know, we basically look after them, you know, give them opportunity of a place to live, give them a chance to make some money, be a part of the community. There's 4 guys who were here this past year that at the end of the season they had finished their master's degrees and they're working. They want to live in this area, and all of them are from 2 of them are from another country, 2 of them are from across the country, and they fell in love with this area. And so they've decided to stay, work, and develop life here.
Yep. They understand what we already know. It's a great place to live and to raise a family. Let's give us an update on Science Hill Soccer and what's going on in your conference right now.
Well, our conference right now, we're leading our conference. We're 6-1 and 2 ties. We lost a game up in Lexington, Kentucky at a tournament, played a really good team. The girls have had a really good showing. We're very young. We have 4 seniors, 4 juniors, and then the other 12 are sophomores. We're a young team. We've got some decent talent, and at times we play exceptionally well. The one thing about this group of girls is they have a tremendous amount of fight and spirit in them. They just never get up or give up, and their approach and their attitude, just in life in general, is very upbeat and positive, and they're just a great group to be around.
So you look going down the line past the Tri-Cities, who down the road would be someone you'd have to contend with to get into the state tournament, which you typically do?
Well, we went down and played Maryville a week ago and ended up being 1-1. They got a late goal, but after that game, I know that we were much better the team, where usually they're a pretty strong team. This year, Bearden is actually in our region. With the change, they moved into the Morristown, Jefferson County area. So they're always a tough team to go through. You get beyond the Knoxville area, Memphis Houston has, he's got about 70 girls in his program. It's massive. He has a huge program, and they're going to be the top one to have to go up against. But, to win it all, you got to play the good ones.
What did Vince Lombardi say? To be the best, got to play the best.
That's exactly right.
Goes,
that's
right?
true.
We're talking to Coach Strickland, so throw out some girls' names that are doing well for you right now for Science Hill Soccer.
We've got some girls that are doing real well. Emma Hecht, Gracie Duncan have done very well. Tori Head was doing very well. She got injured. She's been out for about a week. Hopefully we get her back soon. We had a transfer named Marin Gilmer that transferred in. That's a senior that's been a great addition to our group, scoring goals. Sydney Jordan is another one that's done very, very well for us. So we had another injury with Riley Cox, who's one of our juniors, that she's starting back this week, which is good. We got bit by the injury bug there for a little bit, so she's done very well. And then we have a sophomore named Allie Torbett who's done really well for us. She is, what you're going to get every game out of her. It's a nice thing, when you put together the team sheet, Allie's name's on it, because she's going to play 100% at top of her game every game.
And the proof's in the pudding, right? Because she's a heck of a player, only a sophomore.
Yes, she is.
I'm going to make the assumption the big rival again this year, as it is every year, is DB, correct?
It is Dobbins Bennett. Blake's got a good group of girls going over there. They're coming to Science Hill to play us on Thursday night, which will be good. It'll be senior night also for our girls. It's always exciting, no matter which sport it is. When it's Science Hill DB, the records go out the window. It's that from, for 80 minutes. It's who wants it the most, who executes the best, who's the most organized, and who has sometimes just a touch of luck on their side to finish it out.
District tournament will be where this year?
District tournament this year will be at Dobbins Bennett.
Yep. So it rotates. This year it's going to be in Kingsport, but a lot of soccer to be played, although it is winding down, and tournament time's not that far away, is it?
Tournament time's not that far away. We at Science Hill, we host a girls' tournament this weekend, but the second week of October begins the district tournament, so we are 3 weeks out from that, it moves so fast.
Yeah. I'm doing a countdown. We're 97 days away from Christmas. So now, last thing, educate me, because I'm by my own admission, I don't know that much about soccer. I like watching it. I don't understand it. I do enjoy watching it. But again, who would be? I know when I was a kid, it was the Pele's, how you say it, PLE. All right, that's as much as I can tell you. But right now, if we said we're going to go to X game to watch this player, which would be Michael. Who is the Michael Jordan of soccer? I guess who is LeBron James? Who's the marquee name?
It always depends on who your favorite is, but the big names that you hear about are Cristiano Ronaldo, plays at Real Madrid, and Messi, who plays at Barcelona. Those are always top names that get thrown out that kids love. They absolutely love, and they emulate. And those two guys are also, excellent role models off the field.
So those are the rock stars of soccer.
Rock stars internationally.
Messi and Ronaldo.
Messi and Ronaldo, and it's always when they play each other. Their teams play each other. It's always the Messi versus Ronaldo is the headlines.
So I can learn a little bit more about them.
Yep.
Messi and Ronaldo and Strickland. Are you hungry?
Yes. Yeah.
Get you some food, and then talk about your day job too. He coaches, but he also, what do you do during the day?
I make a living with home and auto insurance, home, auto, and business insurance. Is that all right? I take care of people's assets, make sure everything's covered from the ground up. So that's what I do in the daytime.
Your day job. Night job, he's coaching the Otters. He is a family man. He's coaching Science Hill, and I'm sure you got other things going on too. You got a lot of irons in the fire, don't you?
We do. It's just another day.
Just another day in Shangri-La. Appreciate you coming anytime.
Hey, congratulations. 600 shows.
There you go.
That is fantastic.
They laughed and said it'll never happen. People said, doing a show on the internet, Facebook. Yeah. Well, it's funny that since we started this, NASCAR now, we got their shows on Facebook, the race on Facebook. Watched West Virginia football today just for kicks, went to Facebook and watched the game on Facebook. So they laughed at me. It'll be 3 years in February. NFL streams their games now, so we're doing something right over here. So anyway.
I'll tell you what, there's that old proverb that says that the lion's doesn't care about the opinion of the sheep. You just keep going. You just keep working.
There you go. Very nice. Thank you, sir. Quick break. We'll be right back. We're going to go to Northern Virginia Talk NASCAR with Mike Hedrick, the NASCAR Fans Reporter by phone next here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the things that owner Tim Smith is most proud of is their hard-earned certifications.
We are an ASE Blue Seal shop, which is important because what it tells the customer is we care enough to get certified, not in one certain area of cars. You have to be certified in 8 different certifications, in 8 different tests you have to take, and you have to be updated on them yearly to make sure that you're up to date. We not only have one of those, we have 3 ASE Master Technicians here with the ratio. It goes into a ratio, and we're a Blue Seal shop, so it tells you that we care about training and we care about knowing about your car. We want to help fix it right.
American Import and Auto Repair, West Market Street, Johnson City, home of the free loaner car program. Open 6 days a week. Call today, 913-3111.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitats, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
I'm Tom Taylor, and you are
Dave Angie.
And we got coming up, it's a really cool, every Thursday, it's the Champion Chevrolet 5-Star Football Preview Show. Get you ready for high school and college football every week. Every Thursday, you're going to be covering what for us?
Be looking at the Big East Conference.
Ooh, that would be Dobbinsville, Sciencefield, all those great football teams in that conference. Doug Fritz will be giving you the rest of the high school football picture every week. Then we got colleges covered. Who are we going to be covering?
We got ETSU. We have Tennessee. We have Virginia Tech.
All those. Carmichael's will be along to give us the big 5 games every week because it is a 5-star football preview show. So hope you'll join us every Thursday right here in the showroom at Champion Chevrolet. Dave and I will be co-hosting the Champion Chevrolet 5-Star football preview. And then on top of all that, we're going to have a picking panel where you're going to match us against you and you against us, and I can't wait because they don't have a chance. You're going to go up against us. We're going to pick against you for some really cool prizes, and they don't have a chance, do they?
No chance at all. It's going to be fun times.
Oh, yeah. Putting toe to what?
Toe to the leather, man.
Toe to the leather,
Ready
man.
to go.
Ready to go. Can't wait. Again, join us every Thursday right here. It's a Maiden Voyage Cool Show, co-hosted by Dave Angie and myself. It's the Champion Chevrolet 5-Star Football Preview coming up every Thursday right here from Champion Chevrolet on the Bristol Motor Mile in Johnson City. Can't wait to see you on the show. The state of Tennessee. Let's go to the phone. He's there. Our buddy Mike Hedrick joins us live from Northern Virginia. Good afternoon, sir. How you doing?
Doing great. It's beautiful up here, and so we've been a lot of great racing this weekend. So we got a lot going on.
Martin Truex Jr. got slimed at Chicagoland yesterday. Brought home the checkers, winning the big race again to kick off the chase. The Tales of the Turtles 400. Kind of recap Chicago for us this past weekend, would you please?
Yeah, he got slimed all right, but you know what? The race started off with Kyle Busch on the pole, and then next thing you know, Kyle Busch was like a mile out front of everybody. He was just lightning fast. He was lapping every single body until he got to his brother Kurt Busch, and he caught him with about 4 laps to go in that first stage. And I just said to myself, "Don't lap your brother. Don't lap your brother." And classy move, he didn't lap his brother. You'd think that would get him some good karma, but it didn't. He wound up having bad karma. He had switched out his crew with the number 19 team, Suarez, and they really were terrible. They cost him the race. So at the end, like you said, Martin Truex is standing in victory lane, getting green slime poured all over him. That's his 5th of the season, 2nd at Chicagoland, and 12th of his career. The win automatically advances him into that next round of 12 also.
One of the young bucks, Chase Elliott, had a great run, finishing 2nd. Let me give you the top 10 from yesterday. Truex Jr., Chase Elliott, Kevin Harvick, Denny Hamlin, Kyle Larson, Brad Keselowski, Joey Logano, Jimmy Johnson, Matt Kenseth, and Jamie McMurray. Of course, with the win, Truex already into the 2nd round of the playoffs, so huge advantage for Martin Truex Jr. But what was your take on the top 10 yesterday?
It's who we expected in there. I think we talked last week that we kind of figured that the big teams were going to eat the weak ones, or people were going to have mistakes. And so, you're looking who's in there. You've got a good mix of Chevys, Ford, and even the Fords in there in the top 10 with Keselowski and Logano. They're showing a little bit more speed. Harvick right there in 3rd. So Chevy's it's a good mix. I think you're seeing who's up there, who's going to wind up being going to be winning each week. It's going to be those guys right in there. Some of them.
Talking to Mike Hedrick, the NASCAR fans reporter with us live in Northern Virginia. Joins us every week, does a phenomenal job. So next stop, we head off. Well, let me set the points as we head off to New Hampshire and give us a preview. And then we're going to wrap up also the Xfinity Series and the Truck Series this weekend. But here are the points heading off to New Hampshire. Well, that's how they finished yesterday. Truex, Larson, Harvick, Keselowski, Kyle Busch, the top 5. Chase Elliott, Denny Hamlin, Jimmy Johnson, Matt Kenseth, Ryan Blaney finishing out the top 10. Then you have McMurray, Austin Dillon, Kurt Busch, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Casey Kane, and Ryan Newman. I would assume, Mike Hedrick, from 10 down to 16, some cause for concern heading off to New Hampshire for Blaney, McMurray, Dillon, Kurt Busch, Ricky Stenhouse, Casey Kane, and Ryan Newman. I would think those guys have a little bit more extra pressure getting ready for New Hampshire this week.
Yeah, we said Martin Truex was on fire. He had already been smart and got those stage points that had him in a lead above Kyle Larson and all the guy. Well, he's moved them even more. He's 27 points over top of Kyle Larson, and he's 76 points over top of Austin Dillon, who's in 12th. But below him, because we're trying to get to that round of 12, so to speak, or whatever. So he's put a big gap on everybody. I think you're going to see teams like Stenhouse, and we saw them have some problems. Casey Kane. I think we're going to see really quickly the teams get weeded out and the good, strong teams keep going on like there. But with Martin extending that his lead, and it doesn't look like he's going to stop winning stages. I mean, with that win, I mean, that makes him even more hungry probably for the stage and the race wins now more than ever, and can probably even risk a little bit. You got a couple good tracks, New Hampshire, Dover coming up. You know Jimmy Johnson's going to be strong at Dover when they get there. So I look for Truex and Larson to try to push their lead up a little ahead of some of the other guys.
We're talking to Mike Hedrick again. We're live again. We are here at Freddy's in North Johnson City. He's in Northern Virginia, talking NASCAR, of course. So let's take a look at the Xfinity Series. They're getting ready to kick things off this weekend at Kentucky Speedway. And what's your take on the Xfinity Series and who's in and who's out right now?
Well, we saw great racing there at Chicagoland. Illinois native and junior motorsports driver Justin Allgaier, or they call him the Little Gator. He took the lead at lap 186 of 200, and really he never looked back. He gets the hometown victory right there, and that really sets up what's going to be their playoffs. Now they have what's called their round of 12, and that just sealed it up. So you have guys that are in the playoffs like William Byron and Justin Allgaier and Elliott Sadler, who I think you got to look at him to be hands-on favorite maybe with those guys. Daniel Hemrick, Brennan Poole, Ryan Reed, Jeremy Clements, Cole Custer, who's been doing a great job in that brand new 00 Stewart-Haas car. Blake Cook, Matt Tiff, if you remember him, that's a young man that had the brain tumor taken out a year or so ago. So great seeing him up in the top there. 11, Brendan Gaughan, and then Michael Annette in the 12. That rounds out their playoffs right there. So good guys in that. I think, like we said, your strong guys, the guys are probably going to get it, or your William Byron, maybe Little Gator, and then, like I said, Elliott Sadler with the he won the points lead because he jumped in there without the wins or whatever. But yeah, they've got a very strong playoff field in the Xfinity Series.
Talking to Mike Hedrick, let me give a plug real quick, as we always do, for PanteneBeautifulLinks.com. Growing our hair, when we're going to get to the proper length, we'll have a cutoff for cancer patients going through chemo and radiation. So we're almost there. I just flipped my hair and I thought I haven't talked about it today. So PanteneBeautifulLinks.com. I know we go around talking to different schools and places, and we've had several young people say, I want to do that too. So we're raising awareness, and also when it gets to the right length, as we said, we're going to whack it off and mail it off to Pantene, and they'll weave it in with some other folks' real hair to make wigs for ladies going through chemo and radiation for cancer treatment. So Pantene, Pantene, the hair product company, PanteneBeautifulLinks.com. Camping World Truck Series, let's talk about that. They too start their chase this week in New Hampshire. Tell me about it.
Well, back on the Pantene thing, we would have got around to it because I've been watching the show, and I was going to tell you how lovely you look there today, Tom, and your hair just has that luster. So we would have got around to that, and that's a beautiful thing that you're doing. Yeah, the Truck Series, they did great. If you're the 2016 defending NASCAR Truck Series champion, you want to let everybody know that you're still in it to win it, and that's exactly what Johnny Sauter did with just 20 laps to go. He took the lead from the regular season champ, Christopher Bell, and he really never looked back either. So, yeah, that was great racing then, and it sets them up what they call their round of 8. And in that round of 8 is your Christopher Bell, your Johnny Sauter, your John Hunter Nemechek, Matt Crafton, Chase Briscoe, Austin Cindric, Ben Rhodes and Kaz Growler, who I like. He won the Daytona race. Just outside of that is going to be your Ryan Truex, Grant Enfinger, and Noah Gragson. So, yeah, again, just like all the 3 different series, that round of Truck Series playoffs, the round of 8, as they call that, great drivers in there, and it's going to be great racing. They head to New Hampshire. The Xfinity guys, they head to Kentucky next.
We're talking to our buddy again, Mike Hedrick, on the phone live in Northern Virginia. So the silly season, goodness gracious. Danica, since last week we visited, Danica's out. Eric Amarola, Richard Petty Motorsports, Smithfield, all kinds of changes there. Casey King got told he will not be in consideration for, going there. They've said no, we're going to go in a different direction. He is not up for the running for Stewart-Haas Racing, replacing him in that number 10 car. So lots going on in the silly season. Bring me up to speed, would you please?
Yeah, well, it started off yesterday morning. I was watching Formula One in Singapore, and who would show up in the winner's crew box but Jeff Gordon. Jeff Gordon was right there. He was in the crew box of British guy Lewis Hamilton, who went on to win that F1 race. But hey, you're right, exactly. Everything is a lot of fun in NASCAR. Brad Keselowski, he's crying that the Toyotas are too fast. He got into a Twitter war between him and that was hilarious. Denny Hamlin took it a little bit further. He actually said in the press conference that he thinks that Brad Keselowski is a great spokesman for Toyota. He said, imagine buying a street car. Hey, you want to get that one with the unfair advantage. So that was hilarious. You're exactly right. Eric Almirola may be heading to the Stewart-Haas. We've heard that Casey Kane would not be going there. Learning yesterday, Casey Kane may be going to a second Levine family race, and that's where we see Michael McDowell in that 95. So he may be going there. Me and you have been lobbying to get Daryl Bubba Wallace some sponsorship right there at Richard Petty Motorsports with Smithfield leaving, and it looks like they're listening to us like they always do. Grunt Style, who sells military clothing. They're actually in the Xfinity Series and a couple of the cars there. They have signed on with Richard Petty for 2018. That gives Daryl Wallace a sponsor there. I actually was watching my Twitter thing, and I saw where Andy Stinson of Bubba Burger and the Grunt Style guy, the Jacksonville Jaguars game yesterday. So I contacted Andy Stinson at Bubba Burger, and I asked him if there's any rumors about them jumping on with Daryl Bubba Wallace. He said that they're looking into it. They've actually sponsored him in some truck races way before, so we might be starting to see some of our lobbying come right there and get Daryl Wallace in that seat for Richard Petty next year there, Tom. Good job.
That is a good job. Last thing before I let you go, still no home for Kurt Busch. He still doesn't re-sign with Stewart-Haas. Casey Kane's looking. And then, the X factor for me is Matt Kenseth. This guy's a former champion, 30-plus wins in his career. Either he's put out overtures, he's not interested, or his price tag is so high, but nobody's jumping on the Matt Kenseth bandwagon. Are you surprised at that?
Yeah, I am surprised about that, and I'm also, because that kind of goes in line with Furniture Row. That's where that's where that Jones boy drives that 77. Looks like that they're not going to have that. They're not even going to field that car. They've actually sold the charter. So I would have thought that would have been a great landing spot for Matt Kenseth. I don't know. I think that those couple of big names, your Matt Kenseth and your Kurt Busch, who really aren't, and when you're Casey Kane, but those big names not locked in next year. I'm really surprised by that. I would have thought somebody would have stepped up and made a home for them guys already. Maybe it's in the works, but yeah, that surprises me a little bit.
Yeah, both are former champions. Mike Hedrick, great report, my friend. Next week they go to New Hampshire. We'll probably get you back on a little bit later on this week for a preview about New Hampshire and get a preview of where the trucks and Xfinity is going to go, a little bit more extensive. So stay tuned. We'll get you back on later on this week. Great job, and we'll talk to you then, all right?
All right, God bless everybody real good. Hey, screen taters, woo!
Boom, boom, screen taters. There you go, my man Mike Hedrick. Great job again, as always. Appreciate him very much, and we're going to have him on again a little bit later on this week for a preview of said show. All right, let's bring him in here. Our buddy Randall Jenkins, the store manager for Freddy's, is here with us. We got baseball coming up here in just a few, and there he is. My man's in the house.
How are you, sir?
Oh, I'm doing great. So, been watching. Drive-thru's been hopping.
All day long. All day long. It never stops.
I had a couple of guys come in and do this that they were listening, so we appreciate that. To come in and have a lunch. They heard us here on the show, and so we certainly appreciate that. We're here live at Freddy's in North Johnson City. So again, for folks who have no clue what Freddy's is all about, me show you here. There's the logo, Freddy Steak Burgers. You guys are a chain, and you're, 5 or 10 states, aren't you?
I think I counted the other night. I think we're in every state except for 15 states that we're not in. So, and we're growing every day. We just opened up another store in Morristown. We've got Kingsport, we've got Bristol, and we've got ourselves. So we've knocked out the Tri-Cities, and we're just moving on down the state.
Yep. So 50 minus 15, without taking off my boots, that would be 35 states in. So I don't want to take off counting my toes, but I can cipher on that one. 35 states. Fantastic food. So you're a store manager here.
Yep.
What do you feel like is the bread and butter? What are the staple products of Freddy's?
Well, you can't go wrong with the steak burger. Lean ground beef, thin crispy edges, thicker center. It's just a burger like I've never had before. When I first started working here, I was really hooked, and I don't say that just because I'm working here. It's a great burger. You just can't beat it. And then there's the frozen custard. Freddy's frozen custard is absolutely to die for. At the house, we don't buy ice cream anymore. We buy quarts of our custard here, which we sell pints and quarts and cones and dishes and concretes. And for those that don't know what concretes are, it's a little bit thicker than a shake, but we mix in all the toppings, and it's just absolutely great.
Yeah. So you've got the sundaes, you got the concretes, you got the shakes. Of course, that's all on the sweet side of things. You've got one coming out this week because tis the season. Pumpkins are back in.
Yeah.
First day of fall is coming up, I believe, on Saturday. So tell us about the new coming out.
Our new one coming out is our pumpkin pie concrete. It's absolutely great. We put a full slice of pumpkin pie in our vanilla custard, blend it in just for a little bit, so you get absolutely a fall taste there. We keep that pretty much all through winter up to the beginning of the year. And I tell you, I was here last year when we did it, and we couldn't keep it. I mean, every time we turned around, we was selling it. So, and we've got a new burger or a special burger coming out, and it's the pepper jack cheese steak burger. It's a little spicy. It's got some jalapenos on it, our in-house spicy fry sauce, and onion rings on it. And it is just, it'll sell great. It's a great burger. So for those that like spicy burgers. So if not, we still just got our regular old number one up there, which there's nothing regular about it because it's extraordinary. It's great. And our French fries, our shoestring fries, seasoned perfect every time, fresh, hot. There's really nothing up there that I don't like. So,
man, him like to eat. Ain't nothing up there he don't like, and so I got to give you a shout out to the onion rings too. Onion rings are awesome. We get those all the time here at Freddy's, and so if you like sweets, the old-fashioned custard. You know, the motto is the taste that brings you back. Now, you weren't here a while ago. You were taking care of some things, but Coach Strickland was here, and he said, here's the thing about Freddy's. These people get it. They understand marketing. He said they came out and served custard at the Otter games. He said, I see them everywhere. And I was talking about the reading incentive program you guys have, and of course the fundraiser he's getting ready to talk about. So, that's the key. You guys get it, and you're all about giving back to the community.
It's all about, without the community, we're nothing.
Exactly.
Without our guests, we're nothing. And it's all about giving back and letting them know that we appreciate them. And anything that we can do to give back to the community, we can. We do the fundraisers. We do all kinds of stuff for the schools and local sports teams. I mean, we just do so many things I can't keep count of it. We're constantly, every weekend, we're doing something. We're traveling out of the restaurant, and we'll do custard samples, and we just like to get out and give back as much as we can. The fundraisers that you spoke about, we do that Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday nights. You get 15% of the sales that we do. All we ask is that you get out and advertise it, and you let people know to let our cashiers know that you're here for the fundraiser, and they hit the button, and 15% of that sale goes to your group, whether it's a Little League baseball team or whatever you can think of. We just give back, and it's absolutely great.
Look at those shoestring potatoes right there by my finger.
Oh, yeah.
This way, so you check it out. Check out the shoestring potatoes. How about good? Is that good? That look good? And how about that sundae?
That sundae is our turtle sundae, and it is absolutely our best seller by far. It's vanilla custard with hot fudge, hot caramel, and toasted pecans on it, and it's absolutely great. It's bestseller. My favorite is make it a concrete, and like I said, we just blend all the ingredients in, so you get a taste of every ingredient every time you take a bite. Right there, it's just it is a taste that takes you back. So
we're talking, you see on the screen, Randall Jenkins, the store manager here at Freddy's. So give me some ideas, some of the checks you've written on for these folks for fundraisers. I mean, it's not like $50 or $75.
Oh, no. You're looking, anywhere from 150, 200, 300. I've seen $500 checks. I mean, it just really depends on how big the group and how much they advertise it. I've seen it packed house on a Monday night. I don't know if, everybody eats out on certain nights of the week, and everybody knows Monday night's a little bit slower night in a restaurant. I've seen this place absolutely packed, and it's just because of the groups, and they want to come out and support whatever group we're doing. And there's really no better night for a fundraiser, Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. They're all equal. I've seen some pretty hefty checks. We do a check presentation the other day for a military group, or military support group, and it was, say, 900 and something.
Wow.
So it's really big, and that's one thing that I forgot to touch on earlier. Military Mondays and Senior Tuesdays. Military Monday, we get back, it's 15% for any veteran or active duty that comes in all day long. 15% is that's a pretty good bit. We only do it one day a week, but still we like to take care of them. And Tuesday we do the seniors, so it's absolutely great with that. Caterings as well. We do that quite often. Like the coach said over there with the Otters, we went out every home game. We served custard. We've done the sporting events, personal parties, anything from a custard bar to you can set up your own personal ingredients, and we can sit there and serve it, or steak burgers. We can come out and bring a grill out and serve hot dogs, steak burgers, whatever you'd like. So
all you got to do is give him a call, because there's so many different ways he can help you. Last but not least, talking about that reading incentive program. That's good for any of the grade schools, or I guess middle schools.
Yeah, any of them
here all across the region, right?
Yeah, K through 8, or it's great. It's a little card we hand out to all the schools. We hand them out here in the restaurant, and all it is, it's very simple. Whatever the student wants, they read a book. They get their mom or dad, teacher or librarian to sign off on it that they did read it. And once they read 5 books, they get a free mini sundae. And it's all about getting the kids. If we get a kid to read more books than what they normally do, it's worth it.
Absolutely.
Like I say, I give Sundays away all day long if it means kids are going to read a little bit more.
There you go. He's got a heart for kids. Again, website is Freddy's
Frozen Custard.
Freddy'sFrozenCustard.com.
.com, and give our address out. It's 928 North State of Franklin. We're right near the new Food City up on the hill, and come on out and see us.
Oh, absolutely. Great food. Coach Strickland he just ate, took off back to school, and he gave me a big thumbs up. Doug Fritz, he was wiping that sauce off his mustache, and so these guys come in and had some lunch with us. We're going to eat here in just a second, so love me some Freddy's. It's, again, the custard in closing here. I don't know how to explain it. I just know it's a custard like I had when I was a little boy growing up in West Virginia, and it's the taste that brings you back. Don't know what you all do, but it's just it's different.
It's richer, denser, less moisture. It's so much creamier. I can't get over it. They told me when I first started that you will never go back to ice cream, and I was like, and then I tasted it, and it's true. I ain't ate ice cream since I started working here. I've had custard. So, frozen custard, Freddy's Frozen Custard. You just can't beat it.
First time I came in here, I don't know, you guys been open over a year now. I come in here at least 3 or 4 times a week and eat. But first time I came in, I got the chocolate frozen custard. I sat down and ate it, and I had immediate, I don't know what you call it, but when you eat something and you have a flashback, and I had a flashback because it tasted just like when I was a little boy. My granddad used to get us on his farm tractor
up in West Virginia and go down the road on Saturday evening on the farm tractor. All of us little boys got on there. He took us down to the Dairy Queen, which was down, of course it's closed now, right down the road. But it had that old-fashioned custard. And I'll never forget, as soon as I bit in it, that custard, I thought, man, this is a flashback. I was a little fella growing up in West Virginia.
Absolutely.
It was
Absolutely.
great memories.
And there's really nobody in this area that does frozen custard like we do.
Oh, no.
And it's just great. So if you had frozen custard as a youngin', come on out and try it again. If you ain't had it in years, come on back.
You got it.
So
it'll bring back memories. It did for me. The taste that brings you back. In my case, the taste that took me back to growing up in the hills of West Virginia. Randall Jenkins, great job,
sir,
my friend.
I
Thank
appreciate you.
Love coming over here. Come back next month too, aren't we?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, come back next month and talk some more sports. We're not done yet. We're gonna take a quick break. We'll come right back. We'll take a look at Major League Baseball and the top 25 college football. And there's 4 good ones for sure. There's 2 or 3. A couple of big boys are playing some cream puffs this week. Get it to send them on we call them paycheck games or checkbook games. They can beat their brains out and give them a check, send them home. So there are some good games. But one of those down in Knoxville, UMass is coming. They're 0-4, one of the worst teams in college football. So they're going to play a very angry Tennessee football team, I would think. So we'll run down the top 25 college football. Also take a look at Major League Baseball next year live at Freddy's in North Johnson City on show number 595 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
It's Chevy Truck Month, Take 2 at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. The savings and selection of over 600 new Chevys to choose from are at an all-time high. 1500 All-Star Crew, $11,000 off. 1715 All-Star Double Cab, $10,000 off. 18 Equinox LT, $5,000 off. 17 Traction Traverse, $5,000 off. Shop us online 24/7 and remember our Saturday parts and service hours. Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, where we leave you asking, how do they do that?
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import and Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Back at the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. We're live at Freddy's in North Johnson City on this Monday, September the 18th, 2017. And so we would encourage you to stop by here anytime. Again, as you heard Randall say, they're open 7 days a week. Don't forget to go to the website and do it right now. Again, qualify for those race tickets. We're giving away tickets to send you to Charlotte Motor Speedway for the Xfinity Series race, the Drive for the Cure 300 coming up on October the 7th. And then also the Bank of America 500 coming up on October the 8th. We got multiple winners. We'll give those tickets away 2 weeks from today. Also go to the picking panel. Tony Briggs did. He got signed up. He picked the 10 games, 5 high school, 5 college. Won himself a $25 prize. Tony Briggs from Watauga. Also, week before, Tracy Clark from Kingsport won. So, again, go to TomTaylorSports.com/football. Put yourself in the running to win tickets. This is the picking panel to pick your favorite high school and college games are already out there for this week. And we're not looking for points, just who do you think's going to win? And then the one with the most correct wins $25. And so if we have 50 people that have all got the same, we put all their names in the computer, and the computer pulls out the winner. So it's just that simple. But Tony Briggs won it last week from Watauga, Tennessee. And then also starting right there, coming up, we're going to bring you the Sean Witten Coaches Show. That'll be coming up starting tomorrow night live. And so we will bring you Coach Witten and the Coaches Show, highlights from the Elizabethton win over Granger. We're going to crank that up every week, and it starts again tomorrow night. We'll have it ready for you after the show at Max Medicine Mart tomorrow. We'll have that put in the system, be ready to go, thanks to Jeremiah Clark and the folks. So we'll have that for you starting tomorrow night. And then we're going to go do something we haven't done. I can't remember the last time I did a middle school football game, but we've been asked to come do the Duggar Cyclones taking on Crockett tomorrow evening at 5:30 at Brown Children's Stadium in Elizabethton. So we're going to do that. So we're going to do the game live on the air here on internet and Facebook. The T.A. Duggar Crockett ball game. I know Jennifer Johnson will be happy, and there's several folks over in Elizabethton that have asked us to do that. So we're going to do it. Looking forward to it. As a matter of fact, it's going to be a lot of fun. So we'll do that again tomorrow at 5:15, kickoff at 5:30 tomorrow. Duggar and Crockett Middle School football. They take it serious in Elizabethton, so we're going to be there and be a part of that. Let's take a look at Major League Baseball from yesterday. Here's the scoreboard. Orioles beat the Yankees 6-4. Reds over Pittsburgh 5-2. Detroit all over Chicago 12-0. We'll talk more about that coming up in a minute with Matt Boyd. Almost got him a no-no for Detroit. Indians over the Royals 3-2. Rays beat the Red Sox 3-2. Oakland over the Phillies doubled them up 6-3. Mets 5, Braves 1. Twins over the Blue Jays 13-7. It was the Brewers over the Marlins 10-3. Houston clinches. We'll talk about that in a moment. They beat Seattle 7-1. Cubs sweep the Cardinals. Cardinals in a tailspin. Hello, buddy. How you doing? Doing good? Yeah, doing great. Cubs over the Cardinals 4-3. Padres beat the Rockies 4-3. Rangers 4, Angels 2. Giants over the Diamondbacks 7-2, and the Nationals pin a 7-1 loss on the Dodgers behind Steven Strasburg 7-1. So we'll start. Left-hander Matt Boyd came within 1 out of a no-hitter. How frustrating could that be? Down to 1 out of a no-no. And Chicago shortstop Tim Anderson hit a ringing double to right center and broke it up. It's got to be tough down to the last out. Anyway, they went on to win. Matt Boyd gets the win and almost got him a no-no, got him a one-hitter. It would have been the 8th no-hitter in Tigers franchise history. Justin Verlander did it last, who's now with the Astros, back in 2011. So the only no-hitter so far this season, Edison Volquez had a no-no for Arizona against Edison Volquez's no-hitter against the Diamondbacks on June 3rd, the only one of the 2017 season. Astros clinching the American League West title, their win over the Mariners yesterday. Houston's been in sole possession of first place in the American League West since April the 14th, only 11 games into the season. The lead grew so big it was only a matter of when they clinch and not if, and so the Astros have done it. It is their first for the Astros since 2001, back when they were in the National League Central. The club moved to the American League West in the 2013 season, which they won there too, so they are the first team in Major League Baseball history to win 3 different division titles in 3 different divisions, which is pretty cool. Now, the first team in Major League history to win 3 titles in 3 divisions after previously winning the NL West, NL Central, now the American League West, and so the Astros are in the big dance when it starts coming up
in a couple of weeks. What else happening in Major League Baseball? The longest winning streak in the majors now belongs to the Cubs. Won 6 straight. They completed their sweep of the Cardinals on Sunday, thanks in part to former Cardinal Jason Hayward coming through with an eventual winning hit. Cubs moved to a 6-game lead over the third-place Cardinals, hold a 4-game lead over the Brewers, with each team having 13 games to go. So the odds of Chicago not winning the Central at this point are pretty long. So they're up by 4 with 13 to go. So unless they have a complete meltdown, then they're going to be okay to win the Central. Rockies losing to the Padres on Sunday. The Brewers now have moved within 2.5 games of the second National League wildcard spot. Cardinals also on the radar screen, being 4.5 games out. So keep your focus on the Brewers and the Rockies. The Brewers have 13 games left compared to 12 of the Rockies. If the Brewers win that extra game, they need to only make up 2 games in the standings. And so the bad news to the Brewers, the Rockies have a pretty weak schedule, finishing out 2-game series in San Francisco before a 4-game series in San Diego. The Brewers have series against Pittsburgh and the Reds, but they also host the Cubs for 4, and they close it out in St. Louis for 3. So advantage schedule-wise will go to the Rockies, trying to get that wild card spot. Those final 2 wild card spots, or the 2 wild card spots, top 2, and they'll have that 1-game playoff. So how it sets up, the 3 divisional winners, and then the top 2 wild card teams have a one-game playoff, and they'll move on into the playoffs. So right now, that's where you are there. In the American League, the Twins won on Sunday. Well, the Angels, the Mariners, and the Royals lost. That means the Twins, with just 2 weeks to play, are looking good on that second wild card spot behind the Yankees. Angels 2 back, Mariners 4.5 back, so everybody else kind of beginning to fade. So I would think right now it's probably a 4-team race. The Yankees and the Twins are front runners. In comes the Angels and the Mariners. Let's see, Steven Strasburg again wins for the Nationals. So National starter Steven Strasburg came into Sunday having thrown 34 straight scoreless innings. That streak extended to 35 with a spotless first inning, but then he allowed a run in the second. Went on to win, though. He went 14-4, so the Nationals over the Dodgers yesterday, and so that big win there for the Washington Nationals. Let's run down the schedule for today. It's kind of a light day in Major League Baseball. Clayton Kershaw and the Dodgers in Philadelphia to battle the Phillies under the lights tonight. Milwaukee at Pittsburgh, the Mets in Miami, and Arizona at San Diego. In the American League, only 3 games on tap. Red Sox in Baltimore, Minnesota against the Yankees in New York. Jaime Garcia on the mound for the Yankees. Oakland will be against Detroit in Detroit coming up tonight. Again, a 7-10 first pitch. That's your look at Major League Baseball. Quick break. We'll come right back. We'll wrap up the show. We'll take a look at college football. Who's playing where? Top 20's out this week, the Associated Press. So we'll run down college football, and we'll kind of get ready to wrap this thing up. Show number 595 right after you hear this and see this. Again, we get the Sean Witten Coaching Show off there. I did that as a promo. It's the Tom Taylor Sports Show. We will have Coach Witten's show starting tomorrow night, video and audio. We'll go pre-record that with some highlights from their big win over Granger, the shutout for Sean Witten and the Elizabethton Cyclone football team. Coach Witten now 91-37 in his 10th season as the head man. He is chasing his grandfather for the all-time wins at Elizabeth, and he's a ways off. Coach Ryder, I think 166, 168, somewhere through there. So it will be a while before he catches him, but he's well on his way. 91-37. We'll talk to Coach Witten tomorrow on the Sean Witten Coaches Show. Quick break. We'll be right back, and we'll wrap things up with college football live at Freddy's on show number 595 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreen originated in Australia, where sunscreen standards are the strictest in the world. Although our products are now manufactured here in the U.S., we continue to adhere to the most stringent Australian standards to offer the best in broad-spectrum sun protection. Blue Lizard, the brand most recommended by pediatricians and dermatologists. Our smart bottle turns blue in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. You bring the sun, Blue Lizard brings the magic.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400, your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitats, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
And we're back live at the Tom Douglas Sports Show. Let's wrap this thing up. College football. Let's take a look at them. Again, the polls are out this week. Alabama remains number one in the AP Top 25. Clemson, the Tigers, have overtaken the number 2 spot from Oklahoma. Picked up more than a dozen first-place votes after beating Louisville and Lamar Jackson on Saturday night. The AP Top 25 voters have not given up on LSU, even though they got hammered by Mississippi State. They fell 13 spots from the number 12 ranking a week ago, but held on to the new poll at number 25. Mississippi State showed up in the rankings for the first time this season at number 17. Ranked teams losing on the road was a theme this week. Kansas State losing at Vanderbilt, Stanford losing at San Diego State, and Tennessee, of course, losing at Florida on Felipe Franks' absurd Hail Mary. And so here's your polls for this week, or poll, I should say. Goes like this: Alabama, Clemson, Oklahoma, Penn State, Southern Cal, your top 5. Then comes Oklahoma State, Washington, Michigan, Wisconsin, Ohio State rounding out the top 10. Then comes Georgia, Florida State. The Hokies of Virginia Tech up 3 notches to number 13 this week. Miami at number 14, Auburn at 15. That's a very generous ranking for the Auburn Tigers. They weren't that impressive again. They lost at Clemson, which it's Clemson, but then they were semi-unimpressive against Mercer. But anyway, they're at number 15. TCU 16, Mississippi State, big win against LSU. They cracked the top 25 at number 17. Washington State 18, Louisville laid an egg. They dropped 5 notches to 19. Then you have Florida, the Gators up 4 with the win over Tennessee. South Florida 21st, then 3 new entries. San Diego State, the Utes from Utah and Oregon all at
22, 23, and 24th, respectively. LSU rounds out the top 25. West Virginia right on the bubble, as the Mountaineers would be ranked 26th right now if there was a number 26 ranking. So West Virginia, Colorado, Maryland, and Vanderbilt are the ones kind of right hanging on the edge. By the way, the Thundering Herd of Marshall, how about it? Thundering Herd wins 21-0 over Kent State, and so they go to Cincinnati to battle the Bearcats. So how about we are Marshall? There's your top 25. Here's who's playing where in the top 25 this week. Thursday night, you've got South Florida, the Bulls hosting Temple. Friday night, the Utah Utes will be in Arizona to play that in a 10:30 kickoff on Friday night. On Saturday, the early games, Ohio State, 10th-ranked Buckeyes hosting UNLV. That's a checkbook game in Columbus. 12th-ranked Florida State hosting North Carolina State in the ACC at noon. Other 12 o'clock game will be 19th-ranked Louisville taking on Kent State, team that Marshall beat this week 21-0. So I would think Lamar Jackson and the Cardinals are really going to take it out on them. 2 o'clock game, it'll be 13th-ranked Virginia Tech hosting Old Dominion at Lane Stadium in Blacksburg. 3:30 kickoff on Saturday. Number 1 Alabama in Nashville to battle the undefeated Vanderbilt Commodores, both at 3-0. Number 2 Clemson at 3:30, hosting back home against Boston College, or staying home to take on, back home, take on Boston College in the ACC. Also at 3:30, you've got 5th-ranked Southern Cal at California, both 3-0. Here's a good matchup at 3:30. 6th-ranked Oklahoma State, the Cowboys, are at home against Texas Christian, who's 16th ranked, the Horned Frogs, on Saturday. 3:30 kickoff, 14th-ranked Miami, the Hurricanes, hosting Toledo down in Florida. 4 o'clock kickoff, top 25, 8th-ranked Michigan at Purdue in the Big Ten. 6 o'clock kickoff, 18th-ranked Washington State hosting Nevada. 3rd-ranked Oklahoma, 6:30 kick will be on the road at Baylor to battle the Bears. Here's a really good matchup. 17th-ranked Mississippi State. The Bulldogs will be in Georgia between the hedges, take on the Bulldogs, who are 11th in the country. That's going to be a barn burner. That's a 7 o'clock kickoff in Athens on Saturday night. 22nd-ranked San Diego State will take on the Air Force Academy in Colorado. 25th-ranked LSU hosting Syracuse on Saturday evening. Here's one's got a dandy to make him. Penn State, 4th ranked in the country. The Nittany Lions go to Iowa at 3-0 to battle the Hawkeyes. 7:30 kickoff on Saturday. 15th ranked Auburn will be in Missouri in the SEC on Saturday. 20th ranked Florida goes to Lexington to battle the undefeated Kentucky Wildcats. Kentucky unranked but 3-0. Florida 20th ranked at 1-1. 7:30 kickoff. 7th ranked Washington, the late games on Saturday. 7th ranked Washington, the Huskies will be at Colorado, both 3-0. And 24th ranked Oregon will be a 10 o'clock kickoff at Arizona State on Saturday. So there again is the top 25 in college football. Again, East Tennessee State back home take on Mercer. 3:30 kickoff right down the road on Saturday here in Johnson City. Again, one more time, running down the Southeastern Conference. Alabama's at Vanderbilt. Arkansas will be at Texas A&M. Auburn will be at Missouri. You have Florida at Kentucky. Georgia, Mississippi State in Athens. Kentucky hosting Florida. LSU hosting Syracuse. You have South Carolina taking on Louisiana Tech in Columbia. Tennessee hosting UMass in Knoxville. And Vanderbilt, as we said, with Alabama and Nashville. And the Aggies of Texas A&M hosting Arkansas in Arlington. So that is your top 25 and also the Southeastern Conference football schedule for this week. Now, before we get out of here, let's run down high school football this week in the region. Also, we got volleyball tonight. Tell you about that. First off, volleyball. You got Central at Volunteer tonight in volleyball. Sullivan East at Daniel Boone, and Sullivan South Lady Rebels at Morristown West. Dobbins Minute plays at Eastside tonight, and Harlan County, Kentucky at Thomas Walker in girls high school volleyball. Soccer, everything cranks up tomorrow night. And then golf today, the District 1 AAA tournament at the Tri-Cities Golf Club in Bluntville for the District 1 AAA tournament going on as we speak today in Blunt, Vegas. And then high school football Friday night. Alcoa at Dobbins Minute, CAK at Knox Bearden, Cloudland and Happy Valley. The polls come out tomorrow. Both of those teams ranked last week. Cloudland will be in Happy Valley Friday night. Cobb County at Pigeon Forge. Elizabethton, the Cyclones go to the Stone Castle to battle Tennessee High. Gibbs will be at Morristown East. Crockett hosting the Hampton Bulldogs. Hancock County at Union County Friday night. The Farragut Admirals hosting Knox West. Cherokee home to Morristown West. Daniel Boone hosting Science Hill Friday night. South Green will be at Chucky Doak. Sullivan North at Unaka. Gatlinburg Pittman will be hosting Trinity Academy. Unicoi County will be in Blumville to battle the Sullivan Central Cougars, and Volunteer will be in Granger. Open dates in Tennessee: Cosby, Greenville, Hardin Valley, Johnson County, North Green, Sullivan East, Sullivan South, and West Green all off this week for an open date. In Virginia, Friday night, Abington will be at Hidden Valley. Castlewood at Rye Cove. Gate City, the Blue Devils at Union Friday night. J.I. Burton will be in Nicholsville to battle Twin Springs. John Battle at Patrick Henry. Lehigh at Ridgeview. Eastside at Thomas Walker. And Y Central at Graham on Friday night. Big hello to Brian Malone, Jennifer Johnson. Thank you, kids, being with us. Steve McCauley, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Some of the folks scrolled down and saw watching and listening to the show, and we appreciate that very much. So, again, in closing, a couple of things to remind you about. As we're wrapping this thing up, we ran over a little bit, but we can do that because we're here on Facebook and on live stream at TomTaylorSports.com. Again, coming up, the Sean Witten Coaches Show starts tomorrow night. We'll have that for you. We'll let you know when it's available. We'll record that tomorrow morning, get ready for you to hear Coach and I talking about the Cyclone win over Granger and getting ready for the Tennessee High game. And some stats, went back and dug up some stats out of the Elizabethton record books, which is pretty cool. Also tomorrow night, we've got Duggar and Crockett Middle School and Duggar Middle School football at 5:30 tomorrow night at Brown Children's Stadium. The Cyclones going to bring you that ball game, taking on Crockett Middle School. Looking pretty excited. Looking very much forward to that. Also, don't forget where are we here? Boom! Be sure and try and win tickets to Charlotte Motor Speedway. Why would you not? They're free, absolutely free. Multiple winners for the Xfinity Series on October the 7th. Multiple winners for the Bank of America on October the 8th. TomTaylorSports.com/contest. Be sure and enter. First name, last name, town you're from, and email address. That's it. And we'll award those tickets to the winners coming up 2 weeks from today. Then the picking panel. Tony Briggs wins this week from Watauga, Tennessee. Had the most correct picks. Go to TomTaylorSports.com/football. You may win yourself a $25 prize like Tony did. We'll be in touch with him coming up later on today. And then, of course, don't forget, there it is, the Champion Chevrolet 5-Star Football Preview Show. That will be coming up on Thursday night, live from Champion Chevrolet. We love that show. Love all the shows we do. We really love that show for sure because that's the show where we showcase Joe Vento talking about the East Tennessee State football. Kevin Harmon previews the Tennessee football games. Chris McCall previews the Virginia Tech football games. We've got Doug Fritz previewing all the high school games. Dave Angie, our co-host of the show, he previews the Big East Conference. And, of course, we have Carmichael, the Big 5 college football games of the week. And so, great show. Flies by 6 to 8 every Thursday night right here on TomTaylorSports.com and also the Facebook page of Tom Taylor Sports Show. So that's what's going on. Big thank you today to Freddy's, wrapping up our 595th show. Thanks to Doug Fritz from the Johnson City Press. Also, Mike Hedrick, the NASCAR fans reporter from Northern Virginia, does a phenomenal job. Also, Coach David Strickland from Science Hill, girls soccer, and I almost said boys soccer. Boys playing this spring. Girls soccer and the Tri-Cities Otters. And also, of course, Randall Jenkins, the store manager here at Freddy's. We're out of time. We sincerely thank you, viewers. Thanks to our folks at Grip Energy. We gave away all but 2 of the energy drinks. Had a whole case, and they're all gone but 2. They love them. The Grip Energy drinks sold at Food City. And folks love the Grip Energy drinks. Get a grip. Here you see the ball cap. Grip Energy Drink, our title sponsor of the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Tomorrow we'll be at Mike's Medicine Mart in Kingsport. Until then, we always tell you we're out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. Don't forget Monday Night Football tonight, Detroit and the New York Giants, the Meadowlands in New Jersey. And also, don't forget the team heading off to the Super Bowl. How about it? My boys, look at them. The Raiders. We're 2-0. The silver and black is back. Till we greet you tomorrow at 11 o'clock from Mike's Medicine Mart in Kingsport. As always, we'll tell you for the Tom Taylor Sports Show, wrapping up show number 595, win or lose, be a good sport. From Freddy's in North Johnson City, we say so long, everybody.